Good evening, everybody. I'm Mark.
And I'm Britton.
And today we're going to do something that I don't think we've really done on this podcast before, which is we're going to watch a shitty kids movie. Not just regular shitty kids movies like the Flintstones. Like, this is beyond. Like, Flintstones had ideas and actors. This is terrible.
Yeah, this is pretty much a direct-to-Netflix or I guess it was Hulu.
Yeah, it was a direct-to-Hulu
movie. So,
and let's just get started. I'm gonna have to talk fast because I'm struggling to remember a single thing about this movie. And it's fading very quickly. But I might say that, this might be one of the worst movies we've ever watched for this podcast. It's tough. It's tough.
I'm trying to think. No, I mean, Monster, I think, was worse.
Yeah, that was unreleased though. We didn't release that episode.
We didn't release it, Monster?
Nope. It's still in our reserve. So if you guys really want to see Monster, I didn't think it was a bad episode, but if you really want to see Monster, then comment it and say we want to see Monster, because otherwise we'll probably just keep it as just regular, just in the vault. But anyway,
I think we just never got around to it.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This movie is Sk8tr Dawg. Now that's Sk8tr Dawg. There's a lot to talk about this movie.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't you give us a little overview of what the movie is? Try to rack your brain to remember what happened in this movie, and then tell us.
So, I forget the name of the main kid.
Tommy.
Tommy is the son of a
douche.
Son of a, he is like the younger sibling of a sister who is the skate prodigy, who goes around the world and skates boards for, I guess, emperors. And too many tricks. She's this prodigy, and his father and mother work at the skateboarding business where
they basically own their own business making skateboards.
So, Tommy has recently taken up skateboarding, on his own, and is trying to learn how to do stuff like that. But he's an abysmal failure, and can't really get his head around doing tricks and things like that. But his dog can skateboard, and so can his friend. His
girlfriend. It's a girl who's a friend.
Yeah, which I don't know what the hell is wrong with this kid. If I had, a pretty girl who was my friend, I would not be focusing on skateboarding.
It's one of those things where it's just like, you kind of think that a 13-year-old boy would kind of maybe think at least at one time, I wonder if this girl's into me.
Yeah.
Oh well, time to do some ollies.
Time to play with my dog. And so he gets a shitty babysitter, who looked like one of the I think the babysitter looked like, or may have been, the child protective lady from Mrs. Doubtfire.
It might have been.
I don't know.
Yeah,
she's probably dead.
I like to think that she's one of the fake babysitters or one of the babysitters that didn't get hired from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Or don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Yes. So basically, Tommy wants to learn how to skate. It's a cry for attention. His dad don't give a shit about him.
Nope.
His mom is, she's like, honey, talking to the dad, why don't you ever care about our son? While she too ignores him.
Yeah.
And that's about it. He challenges the bully to a skate contest for some fucking reason, and then hold on a second. Spoiler alert. He doesn't beat the bully in a skate contest, but he finds his own true worth. Well, he doesn't, but
in blackmail.
Yeah, yeah, that's literally what happens.
They record the bully sucking at skateboarding, and they're like, "Oh, if you don't stop bullying, I'm gonna bully you back.
If you don't stop this, bullying is not a nice thing to do. Bullying is bad, but Tommy's committing a crime here."
Yeah, I guess so. Is he? I think it's.
I think blackmail's a crime. Yes.
Yeah, he's not really getting anything out of it other than being left alone.
It's basically it's a blackmail stalemate.
And and at the end, like they, somewhere along the lines in this movie, there was this big investor who may or may not invest in their dad's company or a competing Chinese company.
Yeah.
And he comes in, and they present him with all this stuff, like the daughter,
world famous
daughter, all their skateboarding memorabilia. This Amish guy.
Yeah.
And also, in the background of every scene, in this company, there is this guy with this long beard and long hair with suspenders, and he looks, he looks like he just got done raising a barn.
Yeah,
and no one acknowledges him.
We don't even know his name, and we are just like, we were baffled. Like the first time we saw it, we were like, "Wait, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Why is he just there? He's just in the background holding a board. Like, well, what's going on here? Who is this guy? What's his story?"
And like at this point, I think they filmed a ghost. like no one sees him.
No one acknowledges him. So yeah, that in a nutshell, that is kind of what the movie's about. And let's kind of, we're gonna have to get into kind of what made this movie bad. But I will say with something that it may be a little bit of a controversial statement.
Go on.
That even though I said that this may be one of the worst movies that we've seen in this podcast, I will point out that this wasn't as bad as it could have been. Like, it was kind of boring, went nowhere, but it never stopped providing us entertainment to make fun of.
Well, yeah, like we made it dark. Like there were a lot of riffs where we killed this poor dog.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have a skateboarding dog in the movie and not expect, sad things to happen to it. Or I guess you can if you're, not a monster.
Yeah, you can't build up this dog and not expect us to try and take it away from them.
So, I'm gonna get to the things that I always get to, which is how you're gonna fix this movie. But there's one or two things I really feel that need to be addressed in this movie.
Okay.
First of which is the technobabble that this guy was spout. Like, they have an engineer who was like building like this new skateboard prototype. Yeah. And we never see it. But by the way he described it, this skateboard could almost go through time.
Like, the science, I'm trying to think of, like, the scientific terms he was using, we do not have practical engineering uses for.
Like I noticed, I knew he was full of crap when he started, like, talking about, I'm gonna lower the friction, parameter from, the coefficient from, like, 0.5 to 0.2 or something. And then go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Then no, I'm going to talk about the thing that...
Okay. And then he mentioned a Lorentz transformation, which is a term mainly used when describing relativistic speeds and, and special relativity, which baffled me why he would need that for a skateboard.
And then there was, I forget what he was talking about at the end.
It was the, he used like
the order.
He was like they used a special carbon fiber, material that made the skateboard like lighter.
Yeah, and he's like, it reduces it by 25 orders, and 25 orders. Which I'm assuming he's, referring to orders of magnitude, because that's what when you say 25 orders, that's kind of what that means.
You didn't know that the skateboard was made of aerogel.
Like, if you reduce something 25, like the mass of something to 25 by 25 orders, at that point it has become statistically insignificant. Like, it is a mass of 0.
Like, why is this man not working at Lockheed?
Like, air has more mass than that skateboard.
So feasibly, if he made that skateboard, it would float.
Yes, he created a hoverboard. You know something?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were getting at. It wasn't. It was just bullshit. But
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that's what they were getting at. Maybe they were like, I created a hoverboard. Of course, the hoverboard is going to hover so much that it's going to shoot you off into space, you know, or shoot you at least until the mass of the air is decreased significantly.
It's pretty much, it's almost an impossibility. Like, you know, you have something which is almost the same mass as a vacuum, but having mass.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
He created a little. Maybe he's gonna create like a singularity or something.
It's made of space-time itself.
Wow, can I get on it?
No.
And then
you'll implode.
The dog gets on it and he goes back in time and he assassinates Archduke Ferdinand.
It's always that Archduke.
Bull Duke Ferdinand. So yeah,
and
like,
there's a bulldog, Abraham Lincoln, when he comes back.
like in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, the dumb Burton one.
You know, all these years, I just didn't understand the genius of that twist, where it was a pun. He trolled us. Ape Lincoln.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's no way he was like, all right, Ape Lincoln. Come on, that'll be funny, guys. I think nobody will get the joke. Everyone will hate it. It'll be fucking hilarious.
Like,
he's an artist.
like, well, first, like, you had to do research in order to figure out how that ending made sense.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But,
we did.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand it.
There was another ape, and then the ape made a pit stop, and you know, and then you know.
Yeah, of course. Then you get Ape Lincoln.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got a little off topic there. Not us.
Not on this show.
So let's get back to Sk8tr Dawg. Now, I'm gonna ask you what I was gonna, what I was telling you to think about while we were watching this movie is, how would you fix Sk8tr Dawg? Let's say, and death is not an option here.
Okay.
Let's say they come in, like some producers come in, they drop this steaming pile of script onto your table, and they say, "We want you to make this better. What are you gonna add for the same price that they are probably gonna have, the same budget? How are you gonna make this better?"
So, as I had mentioned before, like, why isn't this guy working for Lockheed? You know, that's what they are. Like, they're a military contractor, and they're trying to weaponize this dog.
Okay, I'm on board. I want to see this more. It's definitely different than what I was gonna do.
They're using. They're kind of more studying this dog
Because he can skateboard?
Yeah, it's like a Boston Dynamics type thing where they're making the scary robots, and but this dog is really good at skateboarding, and there's some practical military applications of having a skateboarding robo dog go into enemy lines and explode.
See, I think of it as they've never seen, like, this is a universe where this is the only fucking dog that has ever skateboarded before.
Yeah.
Like, alright, so they're like, we need to get this dog in order to, understand how it mechanically does this.
Yeah.
Because the applications are through the roof. Like, you put that into, like, you send that into, I don't know, Canada or wherever we're at war with, I don't know. To destroy, like, high target, things. Like,
Yeah.
I imagine they wrap it in, like, like actual fur-looking fur, so people are like, oh, look, a skateboarding dog, and then it just explodes.
Yeah.
It's a Trojan dog.
This is a non-threatening animal. Yeah, I don't know why.
That guy's clearly committing some sort of espionage against Canada.
I am Canadian friend.
They called me Mr. Canada.
They call me Canada Guyovich.
Well, seems legit to me.
Alright, here's our secret dog plans. Yes, very good.
You mean dog can skate of board?
This.
I don't know why my guy is Swedish.
He is of skateboard.
He does the skating of the board now. That's terrible. That's terrible. Good.
I don't know where I was gonna go now.
So, alright, so you have the military application for
Yeah.
the dog. Let me tell you about what I was thinking, and I
Okay.
might have scratched the surface while we were watching this, but I'm gonna delve head first into this. So, we can keep the first act of the story, hell, the first 2 acts, if there are even acts in this story. We can keep them basically the same.
Okay.
The kid kind of sucks, he challenges this bully. His parents don't listen to him. He's only skating for a cry for attention. He's just basically ignored by his parents in favor of their daughter, who is, let's be honest, clearly the horse you should be backing.
Well, yeah.
And he's trying to find his own way, while not being ignored. And maybe about halfway through, the dog gets sick, and they have to put it down.
I thought you said killing the dog was off the table.
I didn't say that. I know.
You said death was not an option.
No, I mean death, like, you can't kill yourself.
Oh,
yeah, to
okay.
not write this script.
Yeah, you can kill that dog all you want.
The dog dies. And, like, the second half, it becomes, like, a tense family drama about how this grief draws them together. And it actually makes them, like, a better family. Like, he learns that there's some things more important than winning this skate competition with this stupid bully. And, and then, and that's it. They get him a newer, better dog that does, I don't know, snowboarding or something else. He does rollerblading. It's dark.
I hate it. Like, it's Bridge to Terabithia with a stupid dog.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly it. And you don't need to add any more money to this project to make it like this. Like, hell, if you wanted to, the dog that comes back at the end will look exactly like him, so he doesn't really learn his lesson. And B, like, now this actually has maybe just a little bit more weight than what it is now, which is bad, like, maybe people, when they're turning on Sk8tr Dawg, they don't want to have weight to their story, or heartfelt or grief. They just want to watch a dumb fucking dog get on a skateboard and skate around.
They want to see a dumb dog skateboard. They can go on YouTube.
Yeah, so I guess maybe I don't understand the audience. Maybe me killing the dog like Turner and Hooch. Like, oh, spoiler alert.
Turner dies.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. But no, maybe that's too much. I'm gonna recant that.
Okay.
Maybe killing the dog is off the table.
Like maybe just take a leg and he's just a 3-pawed dog.
Like soul food. Well, in soul food, I think the grandmother loses her leg because of diabetes or something.
Oh.
So Sk8tr Dawg or Sk8tr Dawg is just like soul food. Go on.
I never saw Soul Food. I didn't know some old lady lost her leg.
I only know that from the Boondocks, from their recap of the movie.
And I guess, yeah. I was gonna say maybe not diabetes. Though a dog having to get insulin shots is pretty funny because he probably snaps at them because he doesn't understand.
Well, how else is the dog gonna lose his leg? Like, get caught in a bear trap?
Get hit by a car.
Oh my gosh, there's no good. You know what? All right, how about this? Let's not hurt the dog. I recant. Let's not hurt the dog. Death and dog hurting is off the table now.
The kid gets his leg lost.
You know what? Okay, now we're on to something. Because who cares about the fucking kid?
No one cares about kids. We can kill kids by the dozen.
Yeah, like killing the dog is a step too far.
Yeah, people
like dogs.
Audiences love dogs.
Yeah.
You can't really hurt. Like,
I love dogs,
and no one likes kids.
It's like, so you can do anything you want. I'd say this kid, he no. I say this kid, like he gets his hand like blendered off by the Fratellis.
Okay.
From the Goonies.
All right.
No. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't hurt people. Although I don't see movies like this just bring out the darkness in us.
Yeah, I know. It's tough. Like, maybe. All right. Maybe, like, how about instead? Maybe skateboarding is not the medium. That this movie needs. Like, I want, like, to have, like, these two are deployed to war, and and they end up getting captured by and are in a POW camp and are forced to play Russian roulette.
And they get out of it through skateboarding.
Yes.
Okay, so no one gets hurt.
Oh, well, people are going to get hurt.
But not the kid and the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I was actually going to go...
Meow.
They're a bunch of cats.
A bunch of cats.
Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna go a completely different route. Actually, my route is somehow more depressing than this route.
Okay.
And nobody gets hurt. Nobody dies, and then we don't have Russian roulette cats forcing this kid and dog to play Russian roulette. Mine is that we can keep the skateboarding, but it's kind of put back a little bit.
Okay.
But we can keep the fact that his sister is really good at skateboarding, his dad's good at skateboarding, his mom likes skateboarding.
Yeah.
Skateboarding is what this family does. Even the fucking dog skateboards, So this
Okay.
kid, he can't skateboard, so as a cry for attention, he starts shoplifting. It starts small. He's only 13.
Okay.
Candy bars and things like that. But he's doing it for because he wants the attention, and it does come to a head at the end.
When he takes a life.
No. We don't have to kill.
We at this point, like someone's losing a life.
Okay.
Like it's a carjacking gone wrong. Like he didn't know the gun was loaded.
See, I wasn't thinking armed assault robbery or anything. I was just thinking like.
Look, it gets worse. Like you don't start with candy bars and have it end with candy bars.
No, okay, that's fair. But I think I have an idea. So I was also thinking that this movie, in the beginning, I thought this movie was going to feature a jewel heist of some kind. Mm-hmm. But let's twist that. Do a little twist on that. There's still a jewel heist, but it's the kid. He starts off with candy bars, and he escalates into the
Hope Diamond.
Yeah, well, they're bringing a one day only. They're bringing the crown jewels of England into a tour. Yeah, it's a special thing to the tour of America.
I didn't think those left the tower.
They didn't, but for except for special occasions like coronations and stuff. And in this one time,
where they bring it to. Their nation's former enemy.
Yeah, it's a 10-city tour. It goes New York, Los Angeles, and then they stop off at Detroit, where these guys are, for some reason. And the kid, he's really starting to get a feel. He likes the steal, and now it's no longer a cry for attention. Now he enjoys the thrill of it for himself. And so the dog, the skateboarding dog, he's hired by Buckingham Palace to protect these diamonds because the dog is also
a trained assassin.
Well, a security guard.
Oh, one of those.
The dog is the dog's popular, so and then the dog has to make a heartbreaking decision when he catches his best friend, his owner, stealing the crown jewels. Does he turn him in and complete his duty, or is family more important than duty?
And he has him, he has him in his sights, and then he turns the gun to the air and starts shooting and yelling.
Yeah, and then the kid gets runs away.
Yeah, and he's wearing a Obama mask.
I was gonna say Nixon, but that's fine.
I thought that was originally Nixon in.
Oh yeah, it was. All right, so how about he's wearing a Thomas Jefferson mask? Go old school.
He's wearing a King George mask.
Perfect. Yes, and and because the dog let the jewels get away, and because the dog was responsible, he winds up in prison. He gets locked up in the Tower of London.
The dog in the iron mask.
The dog in the iron collar. And so
the dog in the iron muzzle.
Perfect. And now we can sequel bait. The movie tried to sequel bait with the snowboarding thing, but I think we can sequel bait with the kid, I'll come to visit him, because they let visitors into the Tower of London, and pretty much I'll rescue you. I have to rescue you. I have to do this, because now he knows that loyalty is more important. Family is more important.
It's a far better thing I do today than I've ever done before. It's a far better rest
than I have ever known. And no, I said the dog doesn't die. I don't care if it's a guillotine or not. The dog doesn't die. Jeez.
I don't get it. I don't see where you're going with this.
Alright, so maybe shoplifting's off the table too.
Maybe not a crime.
this movie is so saccharine that like we just have to go somewhere dark with it.
Like we have to introduce some real life tragedy.
Yeah. Like,
in order for maybe it's a problem in translation. Our brains are not meant to process happiness.
Yeah, like,
and we have to introduce some kind of tragedy into it in order for us to understand it.
Like, we've I'm not saying we had a hard life, but there's definitely been some tragedy marred in with like all millennials.
Yeah.
Just kind of like mixed in with things. So like when you have something that's like super saccharine, like there's like a disconnect. It's an uncanny valley of feeling, and it's like this doesn't feel right. But if we bring in guillotines, suddenly it starts making sense.
All right.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
The kid is on a flight with the rest of his class and his skateboarding dog, and they crash land onto an island.
Okay, so Lord of the Flies with a dog, with a skateboarding dog.
Yes.
Okay, I was actually thinking you're gonna go a completely different route where they crash into mountains and it becomes alive with a skateboarding dog.
Well, it'd have to be a snowboarding
dog.
I
mean, that's at the end. The dog snowboards down and he finds help, and he can talk like in the movie, but these humans can understand him because they're one with the mountain, so they can understand fucking dogs now. Like becoming one with the mountain means you can understand dogs.
Of course,
that's why you want to do it.
It's like maybe they find some maybe they're in the mountains of Nepal where they come across some monks and they find their center.
Yeah.
And, from there they can talk to the dog.
Yeah, exactly. And the dog tells them everything, and I imagine the dog to them is exceedingly foul-mouthed. Like, like we don't get to hear it, but the dog's like, even though we heard the dog in the movie.
Yeah,
and,
but like the kid vomits, like it's so foul.
the monk kid.
Any kid, like whoever the dog talks to.
Yeah, and but then the monks come and they come and they rescue the kids.
Yeah.
What's left of them.
Yeah, like because the dog's definitely eating some of them.
As soon as one of them goes to sleep, he starts gnawing on their face.
Like I mean, one of the kids that didn't make it in the crash, and they just bury in the snow. Like the dog's hungry too, and he's
shaking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, of course, when they get to civilization, they have to put the dog down because he has a taste for human flesh.
Oh, the dog doesn't die.
I don't know what you're not... I don't see where you're going with this.
Alright, also, I do want to point out that, like, having a plane crash in the mountains kind of changes the budget of the movie a little bit.
I guess.
So, we gotta bring it back to family drama. Like,
All right.
maybe the parents are getting a divorce. And maybe that's why he's skateboarding, to get their attention.
And, the dog's talking, but it's a coping mechanism.
Oh, that's dark too.
Like I don't.
Yeah, that's
like,
fine. No, I like that.
I don't get what you want.
That's a good dark. That's a good dark. That's a dark we can exploit. And there really isn't a dog. It's a sock puppet.
It's a 2,000-year-old dog that tells him that
to commit murders. Yes, we know. Yes. Yes, I don't think we can do this. We can't write kids movies.
No, we just did it and turned into the Son of Sam.
Like, so this producer's coming in, is like, he lays the script down on your desk. He's like, all right, please make this work. And when you turn it back to him, the kid is now the Son of Sam.
All right, let's see what you got. Uh-huh.
Oh. So, you turned a movie about a skateboarding dog, into a movie about the Son of Sam.
Look, they're both out talking dogs. Huh?
All right, let's see what we can do with this. It won't no longer be a family movie. It'll be a R-rated thriller. No,
we can make
a family movie.
It's okay.
Son of Sam babies.
Murder, baby.
It's a Son of Sam, but we also introduce like Starkweather and Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer and
Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee. Yep. And yeah, I think we could. I think we could do with that. I'll work with that.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I got nothing. Like
now,
it's.
Now, I feel that this is one aspect in the movie that we can't ignore, and we've been kind of beating around this entire time, and that the dog is voiced by David Arquette.
Yeah.
And I kind of like David Arquette.
Like, I have nothing against him.
Yeah, I want to see him do well, but it seems like he must have a bad agent. He must have Nick Cage's agent. Because it's just...
Like, the last thing we saw him in was at, like, 2099.
Like the Soldier Protocol.
Yeah, this like where he was just getting high off his nose spray or eye spray.
Yeah.
And not feeling feelings and...
Maybe that's what led him to do. You know, at the end of that movie, he does get locked in this torture cell, and maybe that's some of the torture they do to him, making him star in.
And that's a coping mechanism where he thinks he's a talking skateboarding dog.
Yeah, or he thinks that he's an actor performing for a talking skateboarding dog movie.
Or he thinks he's an actor. That's mean.
The most recent thing that, other than the Soldier Protocol, like before that, his last attempt at having, you know, a sustainable career, I think, was Scream 4.
Yeah.
And cause, like that's where I first saw him, was the Scream movies. And then he was in Scream 1. Everyone liked him. It was like, yeah, he's great. Dewey's hilarious. In Scream 2, it's like, yeah, he's still cool, I guess. And then Scream 3, it's like, well, thank goodness this is the last one.
Yeah,
and then
like,
Scream 4, it's
he's
like
he's being progressively put through the masher every time.
It's like, part 1, he just gets a little knife in the back. That's it. No problem. Like, anyone can survive that. That fucking dog could survive that. Part 2, he gets, like, brutally murdered, like, you know, eviscerated.
Yeah.
He gets his, like, organs taken out. Maybe not, but, you know, he gets stabbed a lot, is what I'm saying. And he survives. Part 3, he just, you know, he gets beat up a little bit. He gets something thrown at his head, but he's alright. And part 4, he's old. Like, he can't take...
Yeah, Father Time was undefeated.
Yeah, he can't take the abuse that he used to take. And it's a miracle spoiler alert. It's a miracle he comes out of that movie too. Though they are making a Scream 5, and I think it's coming out this year, yeah. And I'm not gonna say I'm excited to see it, because any Scream after 1 really isn't very good.
No.
Actually,
is it still gonna be Neve Campbell?
I think so.
Oh wow.
I hope that everyone comes back, and I hope that they actually kill one of the main cast members, because that's what the problem was. I mean, literally, like, murder them.
Yeah.
No, one of the main problems of Scream 4 is that every single person who came back survived. And
yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, here's the thing. Here's how, if you haven't seen Scream 4, I'm going to spoil it, but Scream 4 almost was a pretty good movie. It's one of those cases where the ending blew it. The ending 100%. Have you seen Scream 4?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to do a quick little wrap-up. There's a bonus review. Scream 4 is basically a more, like, you know, like, every one of the Scream movies kind of took the concept of movies, and they were kind of almost satirizing it, and, you know, make it like Scream 1, they were kind of satirizing, you know, slasher movies.
Okay.
Scream 2, they were satirizing sequels, you know, slasher sequels particularly, but sequels in general.
Okay.
And Scream 3, they were kind of satirizing trilogies, and a third part of a trilogy. Now, Scream 4, they started doing that with reboots. And
all right.
Yeah, you could kind of see it was more of a, like, digital age kind of thing, and the kills were unimpressive, but, you know, they were just still fine. Everything was fine. They even had Anthony Anderson in it, and he was like the highlight of the movie. He was the guy from Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's always good in whatever he does, and he did fine in it. So at the end, it turns out that the killer is basically the main character, not Neve Campbell. She comes back, but it's like her niece or something like that.
All right.
And she's the one who's being stalked by the killer. There's another one, I forget who it is, but she's the one, this niece is the one who's being stalked the most, and it turns out that she was orchestrating it because she wanted to be the survivor. She wanted to live in the same limelight that Neve Campbell did. And at the end, she, like, stabs Nev Campbell, and she basically kills her, and then she starts beating the shit out of herself and jumping through glass tables just to make it look like she got her ass kicked.
Okay.
And as the cops come and they're like, oh, we got a survivor here, and you see all the paparazzi cameras taking the pictures and everything as they're leading her into the ambulance, and I'm like, if they ended it there, I would have said, that is a damn interesting adaptation. It's not great, but it is actually kind of more interesting. The killer is the person, just trying to not only just make a name for themselves, but make a name for themselves as a survivor, a survivor of a slasher film. The final girl is the killer. That's a neat idea.
Okay.
And then they killed the main girl in the main, but nope. After that, she goes to the hospital and it's like, oh, Nev Campbell survived. And then they find out that it's her, and then they kill the niece. And I'm like, well, that kind of... okay, gotta push that reset button, I guess, but man.
I get the feeling that the original script probably had to end at the we have a survivor, and it was more of an executive decision
or
than
a test audience.
Yeah.
And
because audiences, you can't trust audiences.
And it's like, man, I was so disappointed walking out of that theater, because again, the movie itself wasn't great. It was, it was as dumb as all the Scream sequels, but it was at least a thought-provoking ending. And then they just said they did a General Pepper of it. They took something neat and they just pissed all over it, and they got rid of it.
It's funny that we always reference the General Pepper.
Oh yeah.
For those of you who are not familiar, the pulling a General Pepper is when you kill off someone and it's a meaningful death, and you take it back.
Yep.
And this was from, I forget, it was one of the Star Fox games.
One of the Star Fox sequels. Yeah, it was either Assault or something like that.
I don't think it was.
No, because that was the different one.
Yeah, it was one of the Star Fox sequels, and General Pepper pretty much does a what's his name? Dennis Quaid or Randy Quaid. Yeah, he pretty much does a Randy Quaid from Independence Day and sacrifices himself in order to save the team. And for a kids game, it was a pretty heavy scene.
Yeah, I remember playing it as a full-grown ass adult.
Yeah,
and being like, oh wow, this is actually a damn interesting story.
Yeah.
It's got sacrifice. It's got a lot.
Yeah, and I was disappointed because I like General Pepper.
Yeah.
But it made sense. It was a heavy sacrifice. But nope.
Yeah, he comes back just bandaged.
Yeah, minor redness and irritation.
Yeah, he's got he's just got the little butterfly, bandage on her, and that's it. And
because of that, it made a relatively decent game into kind of a disappointment.
Yeah, I was gonna just mention that where, I remember playing through this game the first time I played it, and I was like, man, this is a really fun game. There's a lot of cool things. Standing on,
You're standing on the
Star Wolf's ship, shooting. I'm like, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
They're giving you everything that you could want out of a Star Fox sequel. And then the ending, it was such a, deflation.
Yeah.
It was just everything that I had that I thought was good, everything that was built up, it just kind of turned out to be, it was a souffle that fell.
Yeah, well, it didn't help that Pigma was also the big enemy at the end.
Yeah. I mean, that was fine, I guess, because there was a queen alien thing, but
I guess, but to me, I thought they could have done better with the main enemy.
They could have had it be
Mecha Andros,
or Andros is dead. Let him die. It was Andros's lungs instead of his brain. No, they can I like that they kind of had a new threat, but that kind of swept into this power vacuum, this queen alien thing. But
I guess, but then again, if Mega Man can have 11 games with Dr. Wily in it, I think they can bring back this dumb ape with a robot.
I would have been disappointed with a Mecha Andros. I would have.
You were gonna be disappointed anyway.
Yeah, it was a disappointment anyway. So I guess if you're gonna disappoint me, at least disappoint me with Andros.
Yeah.
I would have had it be Falco.
That I would have actually. I would have had it be Rob.
I think we. That's a great idea. That's meaningful too.
Like it's similar to the plot of Virus, where there's like this space virus, and then Rob gets infected and then starts skinning all the cutesy animals to make these.
Okay, well, maybe
a little less like Virus.
Like what I was thinking is that like Rob's like something goes wrong in him. Like you said, you can have that space virus, but
he has like Hal syndrome.
It's a slow, I think, degradation of it, where like all these mechanical things are starting to go wrong, like in their own sector. Things that like they put out like robot sentries at outposts, and now they're kind of turning against it. And you find out that even though Rob isn't per se like the one who masterminded this, he is the main thing that's kind of controlling it, because like he has access to all this, being like their main computer kind of thing.
Yeah. And
like it starts subtly where sometimes these these sentries kind of go haywire and you have to go in and fight these drones, but then it turns into when he's dropping you supplies, like when you pick up the supply boxes, sometimes like maybe 1 out of every 10 times they're dangerous, so like bombs or something like
the bombs that he gives you are live.
Yeah, exactly.
They explode.
And like at first you can even like brush that off as like some sort of like tutorial thing when you're flying through, like video game logic, like, oh, be careful, sometimes the boxes contain blah blah blah, make sure to shoot beforehand. And you don't think anything of it until afterwards you get the twist that, oh, Rob is sabotaging us, you know. And now it's actually like you get to the end boss and it's a giant Rob made of all these different parts.
It's an amalgamation of all of the various things he's networked with.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like, but there's actually a little bit of like, man, I kind of like Rob, you know?
I know.
But now it's a necessary, not necessary, but it's definitely a further step in the sequel. Like it's a sequel that takes it into a new place, but still has that same kind of fun impact.
And it's difficult for Star Fox to fly the R-Wing because like they're used to Rob taking over a lot of the ancillary functions.
Yep. And the last fight, it's almost like how he has all range mode.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a boss in all range mode, but it's a lot tougher. You have to actually do maneuvers yourself. You can't rely on him doing like some of the flying through for you. And that'd be great. And of course, as he dies, he can say the immortal final lines of, "Where is the creator?" And then,
what's he saying?
That would ruin such a. Where is the creator? What's he saying?
Like there's so many ways to ruin that ending. Your father helped me like that too.
And then of course we complete the trilogy with the rise of Slippy.
Oh yeah. Like Slippy. That's when he can have like the robot like she's kind of like the Borg. Like she's actually, is Slippy a she?
No, it's a he.
Is it a he?
Mm-hmm.
Slippy. Slippy. Like somehow finds like this bit of like a old hard drive that contained a piece of Rob's
like
memory,
a backup or something.
And and I think didn't Slippy have like Slippy and his dad like have a robotics shop or something like that in like one of the dumb games.
I'm not sure, maybe.
And that just takes over.
That's his dad's name.
Isn't that like Chewbacca's? Like
no, I think you're thinking of Itchy and Slurpee. I don't know.
And
Mala. I think that Mala was the wife's name.
I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares?
And
not canon.
Like the Rob takes over and just beats Slippy over the head with a robot arm, and then incorporates Rob parts into Slippy and becomes Giga Slippy.
Now, I know we talk shit on Slippy. Everybody talks shit on Slippy, but Slippy was the only fucking member of the team that served a function, because you could see the the health bar and everything when Slippy was on there.
Yep.
And I think they did that on purpose. I think they're like, listen, Slippy's annoying. But if we give him a function, maybe people will kind of like him a little bit, because I don't hate Slippy. I do think he's annoying, but I don't hate him because, again, whenever I used to play it on 64, I was like,
yeah,
well, this fucking guy serves a purpose at least, you know?
So here's the thing. I grew up with the with the Super Nintendo one, and Slippy first off actually ribbited like a frog.
Yep.
And it wasn't until N64 that it was played by a child or some lady. And I remember when playing the 64 version, just being confused as to what the hell happened to Slippy.
Like, I think what happened was that Slippy used to only ribbit, but then they started tinkering with him a little bit, and they were able to they were able to mechanize him just enough to make him talk, kind of like Captain Ginyu.
I think that is not the first Slippy. I think there has been other Slippies, because we definitely Slippy's voice has changed the most throughout the games.
Yeah, there's been to think about it. You know how many freaking tadpoles a frog?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's just tubes of Slippy.
Yeah. Another one blew up. Just get another one from the tube.
Maybe that's what they did with General Pepper. Maybe they just got tubes of all of them except for Star Fox.
Because he had his DNA erased.
Slippy?
I don't know.
Oh, Star Fox.
Yeah. Like Fox McCloud. Even though they had what was it? What's his father's name?
No, that's right, Fox.
No, his father wasn't Fox.
Yeah,
it was John McCloud or
Daniel. No, Daddy McCloud.
And his father has all the clones, but he wanted the one that was just a straight clone, like Boba Fett.
Okay, well, I was thinking the same thing. Like, his dad had, his dad McCloud had
James McCloud.
James McCloud. He had a few clones, and he had a straight up clone, which was exactly that's who Fox is, the exact clone of him. And in a rage, he just basically deleted all the other clones. He just
flushed them.
Yeah, basically he unplugged them and just flushed them down the crapper, thinking, "You're all I need, kid." Never thinking that he was gonna get killed.
And he did by Andros.
Yep.
Did they really say what happened?
I'm assuming that it was a dog fight that Andros won.
But you know what? I do think that the Star Fox series should have a prequel, of the James McCloud Chronicles. What happened to James McCloud? Of course, we had the rise of Emperor Andros and on Planet Venom, and what happened. Yeah, how did this war in Lilat start?
And General Pepper's one of your wingmen.
Yeah, General Pepper.
He's Colonel.
He's Lieutenant.
Yeah, Lieutenant Pepper is your wingman.
Yeah,
and it's that really does seem like a really cool idea.
That would be awesome. You have Peppy. You still have Peppy there when he's a young ace.
He's a young ensign,
Yeah,
and that'd be great because there's a lot of backstory to this story.
And
really,
would Starwolf be on that team? You think?
Yes. Starwolf is, again, he's a young ace kind of thing, and at the end you can kind of see the growing tension. The story goes along where there's a growing tension between Starwolf and the rest of the team, which does end up in the last mission lead to him leaving. Yeah. Actually, the second to last mission, it is Starwolf leaves and splinters away, and it's just a one-on-one dogfight between him and James McCloud.
Actually, it couldn't be Starwolf because it was Pigma. Pigma was on James McCloud's team and betrays him. Okay,
and that's what happens. Yes, and then it becomes a one-on-one fight versus him and Pigma, and maybe Pigma calls in, his his buddy of Starwolf. Yeah, we can do Pigma.
And I think Pigma destroys Starwolf's village. And then Starwolf joins the academy, enlists in the academy, and eventually forms his own militia when he does his term. And
so yeah, we could have and we could even have Slippy's dad, Squishy, in there as the Slippy of the group. And there we go. We got the entire team. And like I said, there's growing tension. And at the end, you square off against the the newly risen and powerful
General
Emperor
Andros.
Yeah, and he's trying to strengthen his hold on the star system, and James McCloud's there to put an end to it. And you fight the boss, and even though you win, like in the cutscene, you just see him like it's a trick, like you have done well to fight, but it's all for naught. And then the thing blows up. James McCloud gets killed, and that's where it ends.
I imagine Andros has like this mechanized suit, and that's who you're fighting. And James McCloud wins.
Yeah.
And presumably fatally injures Andros, which is why he's like this giant brain in the other one. And but it does that if I go down I'm taking you with me thing.
Does the Predator,
unfortunately, unlike Fox, James does succumb to it.
Yeah, and that also would explain why in the good ending of Star Fox 64, James McCloud, kind of guides Star Fox out of there because he knows the way now. Like, he knows his mistakes he made. That's why he knows how to lead him out of there.
I imagine he was haunting that was his curse.
For 30 years. Yeah.
It was almost Sisyphusian.
And because of all this, he's like, he can finally complete his mission.
Yeah.
And when Star Fox comes out, that is him disappearing into the ether,
finally being put to rest,
free, because both Andros is now destroyed for good, and his son can survive for another day.
Yep. That would be an awesome game.
That would be a fantastic game. Hey, Nintendo, hello. Nintendo, are you listening?
How can you go wrong? You already have an established plot.
Yeah, this is an easy fucking game to do. Like, stop making those shitty sequels for the Switch and actually do something good with your lives.
Yeah.
So, on that note, Sk8tr Dawg.
A baffling experiment into direct-to-stream videography, children's movies. It was kind of didn't do anything. It didn't really take any risks, but we made it fun and really dark.
Yep. It's a movie that stuck its hands in its pockets and waited for it to end. So, if you just want to have something to giggle at, if you want to have a bad movie night, like, I do recommend this just for that, because this movie is very easy to riff. Everyone who wants to actually watch a movie with a coherent story, plot, and characters, I wouldn't watch it. But if you like bad movies like we like bad movies, oh, you can't go wrong with this. All right. So I think that'll do it.
Toodaloo.
Take it easy, everybody. That'll hold his little SOPs.